Hello and welcome to the Extreme Cinema Podcast with me, Alexander Sternberg, and Dom Loach. How you been doing, Dom?
I have been great, Sterny. How have you been?
I have been good. What the fuck did we watch today, Dom?
One of the most insane films that exists. It is Riki-Oh, the story of Ricky. And
Riki-Oh, the story of Ricky, which is about Riki-Ho, who is totally invincible and unambiguously always good and is never in any kind of danger whatsoever throughout the entirety of the film, and it's also fucking brilliant.
Yeah, this film is genuinely amazing. I bet a lot of people listening to this have never even heard of this, never mind seen it.
Well, to the people who are listening and haven't heard of this, get your fucking friends round, go watch this movie. It is an absolute blast. It is this absolutely mental martial arts movie with just has zero logic to what's going on, and it's just insane shit after insane shit happens, and it's great.
This is like the perfect get people round and watch it kind of film that's not terrible. Like, it's a fantastic film.
This is the second time me and you have watched it, I believe, and this is unless you've seen it without me, and it's the first time we've seen it solo, and it's great solo. I was kind of expecting it to be like, oh, it's going to lose something. I mean, it does lose something if you're not watching it with a big group, but I still enjoyed it. It was a great film.
Yeah, the first time I watched this was at uni with like a big group of people, and that was a hell of an experience, to be fair.
Just screaming at the television because sort of every scene has something to just go, what on earth is happening?
This is I guess this is like the first properly intentionally over the top funny film we've talked about. Like maybe Necromantic, but yeah, but this is so much more over the top than even that craziness. Like,
I mean, the kind of obvious, I mean, it's based on a manga, so the kind of comparison's kind of fairly obvious, but it's like an anime, but live action, and that's really quite impressive.
Yeah, like, think of the most insane anime, and like the most like brutal as well. This is on the Extreme Cinema podcast for a reason. Like, this is not...
Is this Is this the goriest film of all time?
It may well be, like...
Because, and full spoilers, I was reading that the main actor, Soo-won Fan, who plays Ricky, he couldn't get the blood off him for 3 days after filming the last scene.
Oh my god. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It really does not surprise me at all.
And, like, all the kills are so... They're not only imaginative, but, like, they have... The people who wrote and directed this just have something not on in their brains to think of logic. So it's like then no one is ever trapped in this entire film. Like, he's in a room, he just punches through the side of the wall. Like, full spoilers of the, I mean, whatever. But, like, at the end of the film, he just punches the side of the prison wall and escapes. And you go, you could have done that at the very start, Ricky.
Yeah, but he needed to kill everyone, Sturdy. It didn't just want to escape.
Yeah, you needed to murder the Gang of Four.
The Gang of Four. And everybody else as well.
It's so sort of unashamedly cliched as well. Like, it hits every beat. And Riki-Oh is this sort of not only completely invincible, but he's just so unambiguously good. Like, he's against the drugs. He doesn't like the drugs. He doesn't want to kill anyone, even though he kills a lot of people. But he doesn't want to kill a lot of people. He teaches the mute kid how to play a flute.
He does.
Like, so, like, it's just such a cartoon in the best possible way. And it's just really engaging because of it. Like, you kind of watch this hideously gory film with just a smile on your face. Like, even the prison gangsters are just evil for the sake of it, basically. No one has any motivations except for being evil for the sake of it.
Oh, no, there's literally no real... I mean, there's characters, obviously, but they're literally the most one-dimensional thing you'll ever see, but it doesn't matter, ever, at all, like...
And the thing is, as well, right, it's a good film. Like, it's just a genuinely good film.
Oh, yeah, it's genuinely incredible, like, it's
Martial arts is great.
Yeah,
It's really impressive fights, and the directing and editing as well. It's really quite spot on.
yeah, and the gore effects are fantastic as well. Like so over the top, amazing.
Just the makeup in general, like the assistant warden's eye and stuff. I mean, everything is just insane, and all the actors look like they're having a blast. Like in the fight in the kitchen, someone's just been killed, and there's a bit where it's like, we've got to help Ricky, and one of the three people who says that just looks like he's gonna start cracking up at a moment's notice. Like his friend has just died, and he looks like he's about to burst into laughter at just how insane everything is.
Oh, one of my favorite aspects of this film. I need to talk about is Riki-Oh's backstory of his name is Rick, and then to make him because he's seen as a good person, they change his name to Ricky because it seems more suitable. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Like it's.
I love he in all the flashbacks as well. He wears the dorkiest clothes, but he looks the same. Like even though he's meant to like a school kid in like this like dorky school kid outfit, they haven't even tried to age him down.
Yeah, I also love the reveal that he has multiple bullets in him that he just doesn't remove.
They're souvenirs.
They're souvenirs. It's the greatest thing.
There's no questioning any of it. Why would you?
No, this man is invincible. He gets buried for over a week and is just chill. Like,
Like he gets in like the first fight scene he's in, he gets just a nail put through him, and he's like just does. It's not even slightly painful for him.
no, there's never any doubt.
It works because the film does not give a fuck.
There's never any doubt if he will live until the end.
Like, oh, he's trapped in a cage and this thing's coming down. Just go through the cell.
I look.
Jump from the wall. Oh, he's been encased in concrete. Oh no, wait, he's just been wanting. He's just been waiting for the warden to get there to burst out.
Oh my god, the warden! Holy shit, the warden. I also love how it's
so fucking good.
It's set in the far-flung future of 2001, where all jails are privatized.
2001 and the futuristic science fiction concept of private prisons. I hope this never happens.
Oh no.
Occasionally it will remember it's got political commentary in it, and the warden will be like, make sure they don't starve. Prison labor, now that they're all private, is the best labor, and also we can abuse them because it's private.
It's almost like the filmmakers also remembered as like, shit, make him say something that like,
it's a Hong Kong film, right? And I'm like, it can't be a coincidence that they're called the Gang of Four. Like, that's got to be based on Zhang King or Madame Mao and her little cabal during the Cultural Revolution. But it's just such a weird decision.
yeah, like
Apparently, in the English dub, they're called like the Four Heavenly Angels or some shit, or the Four Heavenly Kings. I watched about 5 minutes of the English dub today because I thought I'd seen it subbed before, and I thought, okay, I hear the dub's awful. Let's watch, bad anime type movie or good anime type movie with bad dub. It'll add to it. It was unbearable. I turned it off in 5 minutes. I couldn't stand any of it.
oh wow, I've only ever watched it subbed because I'm not even that of a purist. But if you say it's like horrible.
Well, I am pretty purist, but I thought it would be funny to watch it with a bad dub, but it wasn't funny. I was like, it was still the first scene when they're like, when he's like, the bullets are souvenirs, and I'm still like, I can't actually watch this film. Like, it's just, you can't get engaged in it, but it's a bad English dub. What do you expect?
Exactly. Like, they can be really fun, though, is the thing, like you said. Like, sometimes there's that hilarious, like, aspect of them just completely going over the obvious lip sync and everything. But if it's that egregious, then
I watched because it was really weird because I couldn't find this film subbed, and then I recommended it to my friend who likes dubbed movies, and they said they couldn't find it dubbed. It was Enters 36 Chambers. Guess why I watched that? And the dub was kind of really fun to watch it in. I mean, I would have rather watched it subtitled, but it was just the fact that the lips there's not even a connection between the words and the lips is kind of funny.
yeah, exactly.
That's a good film, by the way. Everyone should watch it.
With this film, like, we might seem like we're not talking about plot much, but honestly, it does not matter at all. Like, nothing matters. That's plot.
What's the plot of this movie?
Well, he's like
Riki-Oh gets there.
There is his like sentence for 10 years because he kills a crime lord.
Oh, the backstory with
yeah.
his like unbelievably idyllic life before.
Yeah, because like they not accidentally, like inadvertently kill his girlfriend or something like that. Like I saw this 2 days ago and I forgot the backstory. Like,
no, the drug dealers, the girlfriend runs off the building escaping the drug dealer, so Riki-Oh revenges the drug dealers.
That's it, yes.
And he just takes bullets, like they just shoot him and he just walks towards them like the bullets are no big deal.
Oh my god.
Or Riki-Ho, as it were. But fortunately, Uncle Ghost trained him by throwing styrofoam tombstones.
Yes, that's the uncle who named him Ricky.
Uncle Ghost.
Uncle Ghost, who named him Ricky because Rick wasn't cool enough a name.
I love those tombstones because they just don't fly. Like, he's throwing the tombstones at him, and he's, punching them and, turning them into dust, but they just don't fly like they're made of stone. They fly like they're made, like, you can see the wind resistance on them. It's hilarious.
Oh, it's incredible. It's like something from Black Dynamite, but, like, this sits in a weird place of...
It's the perfect.
It's obviously meant to be hilarious, but also it's...
But it's not ironic.
It's not ironic at all. It's completely sincere. Yeah.
It's sincere, but it knows it's ridiculous, and it's leaning into that ridiculousness. And you don't get a lot of films that hit that tone anymore because everything has to be self-referential, and this isn't self-referential, and that's what makes it so good.
Yeah, I think that's like the death of humor that came with, like, what is it, scary movie films and stuff like that, where everything has to be self-referential now.
I don't know if it's scary movie films, but I think everything has sort of the toe. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy films. I mean, frankly, they're the best Marvel films.
Yes.
Because they are different to the Marvel films, but everything now goes for the tone of Guardians of the Galaxy. It sort of did what The Dark Knight did for ruining mid-2000s to mid-2010s films. Guardians of the Galaxy has kind of ruined a lot of blockbusters since it came out.
Yeah.
Because things don't hit that... You know what did hit this tone right? Not anywhere near the same level, but it was sort of doing the same thing. Fury Road.
Okay, yeah. I get what you mean, yeah. Obviously, way less
You're
funny.
not laughing in Fury Road.
Yeah.
Like, all the insane shit's happening, and it knows it's insane, and it's leaning into the insanity, like the doof warrior and whatnot. But it's leaning into that, and it's like funny, but it's not like, look how silly we are, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It acts totally sincere.
That's very true. I think Fury Road was even more sincere. Like,
oh no, significantly.
Yeah.
But in modern days, that's the Sharknado sequels, like, kind of go for that tone. There's just not much of a comparison with this, and frankly, anything.
No, true. And this was like, what, 1991 it came out?
91.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking? Because this film was a major influence, apparently, on the Mortal Kombat games. Imagine if this director, Lam Nai Kai, did a Mortal Kombat film.
Oh my god.
How amazing would that be? This is what a Mortal Kombat film should be like.
He'd have done the new one, which I've not seen yet, so I can't judge. But, I mean, it's not going to be great, is it? But...
I mean, who would have seen it if it didn't come out the second cinemas?
Yeah, exactly.
I defend the Paul W.S. Anderson one as a perfectly alright film. The first one, not Annihilation.
Yeah, but like this tone and this like insanity would have been perfect for it.
With this gore effects and this directing of the martial arts sequences being actually good.
Oh, yes.
Like, actually a good way of showing it.
Can we talk about how the Warden is just the Hulk as well?
He just turns into the Hulk at the end, completely out of nowhere, and it gets put through a meat grinder.
Yeah, no. Like, what the fuck is this? Like,
and why is the assistant warden literally Kim Jong-un?
Oh, yeah.
Like, the haircut and the, like, stocky body, and this is 91, so obviously Kim Jong-un was possibly would have been a child still, but, like, it's just so weird. Like, the second he comes on, you just think Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, way before Kim Jong-un, so Did Riki-Oh predict the future?
I love I love the cartoonish way he's introduced, where he's got like the banquet in front of him and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's just a joke of a movie.
I love because I like to
And also like
after
the Gang of Four.
yeah, no, after I've watched the movies, I do like to like go on Wikipedia and read the plots and see how they sum them up. I love how every fight is just like, and Ricky easily thwarts the like that's the end of every sentence. Like,
and Ricky takes several lethal blows, and none of it matters.
yeah, nothing matters in this movie. Like,
Ricky gets crushed, and he's fine. Ricky gets buried the fuck alive for
for
a
a
week,
week.
and is just okay. That seems really interesting to me because the Female Prisoner Scorpion series did that as well, which is way before this and way before the manga. That they just bury her alive, and she's also like, do it, and then they dig her up the next day, so she's only buried alive one day. Riki-Oh's buried alive for 7 days, and then she's just alive.
So,
And
doesn't
that's
Riki-Oh
it.
also eat dog to survive? Literally eats dog meat. Like,
You know what I love, right? I looked at the Blu-ray, and there's a new Blu-ray coming out from 88 Films, which is crazy expensive. But the description of that said it's in the same vein as prison movies such as Scum.
well, that's an amazing
Nonsense.
that's an amazing comparison.
Google's cult prison movies. Scum. This is like Escape from Alcatraz and Scum. Remember that bit in Scum where Ray Winston turns into the
Oh
Hulk?
yeah, I loved that part. Like, I could see Ray Winston as the Hulk. Like,
Shall we talk about some of the mental stuff? Because what was your favorite? Because I think my favorite is in the fight with the guy with the knife, and he ties the nerve endings on his arm back together.
oh, I do adore that. My favorite is honestly just him punching through people all the fucking time.
What, Big
Yeah,
Dragon?
he literally just punching into people's stomachs and gutting them with his bare hands. It's like, good one, Ricky. Like,
That's the moment you know what film you're
yeah,
watching.
exactly.
That's like the first, like, what the fuck is this?
I think that's probably why it's my favorite as well, because it's that initial like, oh fuck, excuse me, like,
And I love the, like, close-up of, like, his stomach and just all the, like, everything's just spilling out.
yeah, it's like I don't think it can be understated how unbelievably gory this film is. Like, we might be like sat laughing about it.
I don't know if I've seen a gorier film.
No, genuinely. Like, obviously, it's not like
Because it's all, like, really OTT. It's really OTT gore in that thing that Asian cinema does and that, you know, Kill Bill kind of did.
that Kill Bill did, and stuff like Tokyo Gore Police
This
and
was
shit
the
like that. Like,
Exactly. This is the first Hong Kong film to get a Category 3 rating for violence instead, because that was like for erotic films, but this is so violent that in 1991 they were like, okay, give this the porn rating because we can't let kids watch this.
yeah, that's like an NC-17 basically and stuff. Or like,
That's the Hong Kong equivalent
Yeah.
of an NC-17. Like, absolute insanity. Like, it's not just a Hong Kong Category 3 classic, it's sort of the Hong Kong Category 3 film. It's like the staple of the genre. Like, you want something completely violent, hit Riki-Oh, the story of Ricky.
yeah, because it was like the first as well, wasn't it? So, how did you first hear of this?
I have absolutely no idea.
Because I know it was you who introduced me to it. Yeah,
It was. I have absolutely no... I think I saw the clip on YouTube of the English dub, where just the opening scene where it was like, the bullets are in there. It's like souvenirs, and I thought I got to watch this film. And then when I met you and everyone else, I was just like, hey, here's this mental Hong Kong film I hear is meant to be quite good.
because like when we first watched this, had no idea what we were in for. We were just like, this might be funny to watch as a group. And then I remember some of the reactions, like when he jumped out of the ground after being under there for 7 days. How we collectively lost our shit was amazing.
You said it at the time that it's called Riki-Oh because every 5 seconds you're going, oh!
Yes, I literally did. I forgot I said that. I'm glad you remembered that.
It's so true though. Like, we watched this and like Mothra and Miami Connection very close together, and I think of those, this is probably was the best group watch we did.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is up there with like room level group watch and like room so overdone now. Like
it's true, but yeah, this is like a Neil Breen. This is like that level absurd, like screaming, everyone in the room losing their mind. But it's a good film that's got artistry behind it. Like you can watch it alone and just enjoy it as a film.
Exactly.
But it's just so. It's just the lack of logic. Like stuff keeps happening that you're not expected to, and they keep upping just how insane it gets.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, the water's turned into the Hulk now. I guess we're doing this.
Yeah, like this film will just keep blowing your mind. Like when he breaks the guy's lower jaw is another amazing part. Like, what's he called? The guy, like
oh my god,
Tarzan.
Like, yeah, he just punches like half a person's head off.
Yes, he does. That's when he
when they like
jumps out of the hole and then he punches his. Oh my god!
when they like Gang of Force like skin the mute fellow's face, it's like such a cartoony effect. It's just and it just happens all of a sudden, like instantly. It's so funny, and like the gore is just over the top enough that there is just a disconnect between the goriness and like your reaction, because you're seeing these like horrendous shit going on and you're just like, this is actually insane.
Yeah, like I love
because nothing has any consequence. None of the violence has any consequence whatsoever.
No, that's the thing. Like people die and stuff, but nobody gives a shit in the movie. Like it happens and you'll see it, and then that's it. Like
oh, someone's or like for Ricky as well. He's taken this fatal injury. No, he hasn't. He's literally fine.
Yeah, that's very true. Ricky gets. That's the thing. It's like you're like, oh my god, he's indestructible and he can't be hurt, and he does actually take some unbelievable things, and then he's just fine. Like he gets shot so many times and stabbed and tortured, and it's like, guy's fine. Like
the warden was that weird gun that blows people up, and then he blows up Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, it just blows him up because he inflates him, doesn't it?
Yeah, just like a balloon. I'm surprised this film isn't bigger. Like, I'm surprised there isn't like a whole industry of YouTuber reacts to Riki-Oh.
That's the thing I was going to talk about as well. Like, it's you look up this and it's like, oh, this film is considered a cult film and whatnot. But I've never like seen anybody really talk about it before.
It's a film I have to beg people to see. It's kind of like The Green Slime, which I also love. And I have just no one. I keep talking to people, and just I'm like, no, go watch this. It's just so good. And people are like, yeah, sure, we'll get round to it. You know, whatever. Like, why do you think that is? Is it the fact that it's a foreign language film, perhaps, and the so bad it's good stuff tends to always be confined to English?
Yeah, I think that's probably a thing. And then, as you explained earlier, probably the poor dub has always put people off because of that as well.
Yeah, because I think until the DVD release of this in the West, so that's a lot of this film's lifespan, only the dub was available.
Oh well, yeah, that does explain a ton then.
I guess also like the Hong Kong martial arts films, except for Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan, which really crossed over, there isn't, it's still a niche.
That's true. It is probably still one of the most like niche genres in the West that a lot of people don't get hardcore into it. Like they'll know the big.
I've barely seen anything. I've seen like Enter the Dragon, and I feel like for most other genres I have such a good priming on, but this Hong Kong, martial arts films I just don't.
Exactly. Like obviously we see ourselves as very big film people, and I've not watched anywhere near enough martial arts stuff. Like all the Jackie Chan Drunken Master and stuff like that, but that's about it. Like
the director of this initially worked for the Shaw Brothers studio, and you can see this not just as a tradition of like gory Hong Kong Category 3 films, but as it's a Hong Kong martial arts film at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like the fighting in it is fantastic as well. Like, it's really well done.
And like clearly, they're all, the people in it are martial arts experts and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you always find people who love different genres, and I've never found a martial arts lover yet. Like, I want to meet some randomer at a party one time who's just like, oh, I know every martial arts film. Like,
It's true. It's true. I would like that's a fair point. I think one thing we've not talked about yet is the sets. They're garbage, and I kind of like it.
oh yeah, just I mean, you talked about it with like the
Everything is plain and
with the polystyrene graveyard, but it's like everything is to that level of just plain walls.
Like the walls are made of cardboard.
Yeah.
Like, and even before they just start punching through, like, how many times does Ricky just punch through a wall like it's just nothing? Like, he's in prison, and yet the walls are like, you couldn't think of anything, like, less dramatic than making the walls in a prison movie just completely, punchable.
It's literally the climax of the movie as well, him punching a wall and just saying, you're free.
And then it just ends.
Yeah, no. Also, like, some of these people are in prison for bad things, right? Like, can they just freeze them all? Like,
oh yeah, Riki-Oh's kind of a dick.
Like, I get that it's supposed to be this paragon of good, but then he just frees every prisoner at the end. Like,
no, maybe he punched all the bad prisoners by that point.
Yeah, it did kill all of the ones that seem to be doing bad things.
He doesn't want to kill, though.
Oh no, it just brutally kills constantly.
He'd rather be playing the flute, but people just keep attacking him.
That's true, it is their fault that they do keep attacking him in this movie. Like, Riki-Oh is perfect self-defense guy.
Did you know that the person who plays the assistant warden, Mi Sheng Fan, is actually the father of the guy who plays Ricky, Shi Wongfang?
No, I had no idea, really.
It just makes it even funnier.
That does have a whole air of,
with his
hilarious, just to everything.
I like how the assistant warden just wonders about the prison and like is egging on fights and stuff.
Oh yeah. That's like a whole. Well, it's like the people who run the prison are fucking horrible people, and that's the whole thing. And the warden's just the Hulk and selling drugs and shit. But
with his weird fucking kid played by an adult.
I forgot about that actually. Yeah.
It's so weird. This is just. I mean, yeah. This doesn't really compare to anything we've talked about or many things we possibly could even talk about or many films in general. It's such a unique film, and that's why its cult status is just so firm.
Yeah, I think that is true. It's so unique. Like, I was thinking of how the hell do you get this across of what this film is, and I think you just can't. Like, you have to just see it.
Yeah, you have to be like, it's a insane martial arts film that will just get friends round, have a few drinks, go scream at the television for an hour and a half.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think that
everyone will like this film.
Yes, that's the thing as well. The most accessible film we've talked about easily, unlike probably ever will be.
Maybe it's. I mean, yeah. If you don't like gory films, I don't know if this is the one for you. But even still, it's just so nothing matters. That like none of it's got like sadistic or anything because there's no consequence to anything. It's just like mindless gore effects. Like someone's had his arm punched off, but it's just a cartoon. It's a comic book. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, exactly. It means nothing. It is quite a bit like Bad Taste, actually, but then that still has way more consequences and everything than this does.
You would never get an American film like this ever. No. It's just not in the culture. Oh my god,
no. Like, this is very, very Hong Kong as well. Very Asian-esque. Like,
I think that basically kind of counts as final thoughts, unless there's anything more you want to say.
No, I think that kind of sums it up. Just watch this film with people. Like, go do it now.
Watch it with people. It's great. I mean, also, like, if you had just stayed on and you didn't care about the spoilers, we've still not really ruined any of it for you. Like, you work out very quick there's no logic to this film, so that's all you really need to know.
Exactly. This film is great, and just watch it. Like, it's batshit insane, and you'll love it no matter what. Like,
So, in order to like completely contrast this week with next week, we've gone from this, whatever this is, to we're watching a cult German, or I think West German still at that point, film, Christiana F, about teenage heroin addicts, and it's really, really, really grueling and realistic, and it's the opposite of this
I can't wait to be depressed.
It's a great film. It's really depressing. So many people, this film gets constant praise. There is a new Amazon original show based on this, but we're just watching the original film, as it were. So go watch it. It's a really good film.
I've not seen this one yet, so I'm prepared to be depressed and talk about it.
You're gonna love it. It's depressed and it's gritty and it's really good, and I'm excited to rewatch it again.
Amazing.
All right. So we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye. You've been listening to the Extreme Cinema Podcast with Alexander Sternberg and Dom Loach. If you enjoyed this podcast, please consider subscribing, as it really helps us out. The original artwork for the podcast was done by George Arnold. The Extreme Cinema Podcast, available where all good podcasts are available.